Hey, how are you guys? Happy New Year. It has been a fun holiday season and we're trying to get back to some just normal ways of cooking and so forth. And one of the things that I love to make in my Deluxe Cooking Blender is some low sugar jam. It was the first thing I made in my cooking blender, and if you have not seen our cooking blender before, boy are you in for a treat. So it has a jam setting, it has a heated wash setting, so it actually will clean itself after it makes all that sticky jam. It has a grind setting, which you can make peanut butter, you can grind your coffee beans, there's all kinds of great stuff you can do with it. It has a sauce setting, so I can make homemade pizza sauce or Alfredo sauce, or just a warm puree of carrots and ginger and that kind of stuff to put underneath like a pork tenderloin or something like that. So there's all kinds of great things you can do with the Deluxe Cooking Blender. Let me think, what else? You can obviously make smoothies and you can make margaritas and you can make all kinds of great things, but the fact that it's a cooking blender and it heats up to 220 degrees, how awesome is that? But today I'm going to do something so simple that you're going to be like, what? That was that easy? Because if you make jam on the stove, you're committed. You got to stand there and stir, and you got to make all the, making sure that, everything is kind of mixed in, as well as the fact that it doesn't scorch on the bottom and so forth. This, I'm going to set it and I'm going to forget it. So I'm going to come back in here and show you, but I wanted to let you see it because I think that you're really going to be amazed. So today I needed, and I'm going to move you here just quickly so you can see it, but I needed to use my kitchen scale, and my kitchen scale is going to tell me that I have 450 grams of strawberries in here. So this is basically what I did. I hulled some strawberries. I just cut the tops off of them. I actually am of the mindset that you can actually use your strawberries with the tops on them. So when I make a smoothie, I go ahead and do that. But right now with the jam, I don't want to mess with it. I want to do what the recipe says, so I'm not going to get creative. So that's one of the things I'm doing. The other thing I'm using pectin. So the pectin is a thickening agent. It is what makes your jam, thicken up and work really well. But this is low sugar jam. So I'm making low sugar pectin, and then I have just a little bit of sugar to put into it when it hits that setting. And so what you're going to do is you're going to put the strawberries in first, we're going to put the pectin in next, and I'm going to hit start, and then the blender will tell me when it's time to add the sugar, and it literally will say, add your stuff. So easy, anybody could do it. So let me go ahead and start really quickly. I'm going to take you over here with me, and I'm going to take you to where my blender is. And let's see if I can turn you around as well. Okay, so here we go. So this is my blender, and it's so awesome, you guys. Really, really beautiful. Like I said, the heated puree, the sauce, the jam. Oh, there's a soup setting too. I totally forgot about that. And the thing I learned this week, oh my goodness, the alternative milk setting. 5 minutes and you can make your own almond milk. All you have to do is soak your almonds in water for about maybe 4 hours. And then after you do that, you are going to drain your almonds, rinse them really well, and then add 5 cups of water. You have a choice of vanilla or agave, and you can also add just a little bit of salt. So easy and so fresh, and my goodness, so good. So anyway, all right, let me go ahead and do this. Turn my hand the other direction. So that's it. I could double this recipe if you see how easy it looks. It's really not difficult, but right now I'm gonna go ahead and just make a single jam setting. And I store these in our prep bowls. So I have people that I know that have done things where they have put it in, the setting for you can can it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But I don't can my jam. I go ahead and put it in the prep bowls, and you can actually freeze it too. All right, so it calls for 2.5 tablespoons of pectin. So there's 1 tablespoon, there's the next tablespoon, and then finally, so in this container that I bought, the box that I bought, you can see that I'll actually have about a half of a serving left, so I could actually make this one more time if I wanted to. So the blender is, let me see if I can find my lid. I'm losing my mind here today. The blender has this great lid that goes right on top of it. Super easy. and you just lock it into place. And once you've locked it into place, it's gonna tell you it's ready to go. If you don't have it in place, your lid section is gonna show up. It's not gonna do anything for you. I could push all these buttons all day long and nothing would happen, but I'm gonna go ahead and close it up and I'm good. All I have to do is turn the wheel to what I wanna make. And there's the jam setting right there. It is going to heat to 220 degrees, and it's basically going to cook the jam in the blender. And I'm gonna bring you back a couple of times when I go through this, but basically that's where I go. So all I'm gonna do is hit the button, and it's going to grind everything up for me. And it stops because what it's doing also is it's also gonna heat. So it will grind and heat and then grind and then heat. So you're not doing anything wrong if it stops the first time. See, there it goes, and then it's gonna continue to do this. So I'll come back and show you in a minute. And I'm back for a second, and I just wanted to show you kind of where it is as far as the jam setting goes. You can see it's really pureed. Everything is starting to get really, really nice and, you know, syrupy. And then of course you can see that the heat in element is going up, and so it will continue to go up until it hits about 220 degrees. I'll be back to show you more in a second. Okay, so here we go. So I don't know if you can see or not, but it's bubbling inside the carafe there, which is kind of cool. And it's told me to add. I'm at 208 degrees, and typically you could take the top off of this. I don't, for a couple of reasons. One, I like to get all the sugar in. Make sure that when you do this, you lift it and you put the lid away from yourself so you don't burn yourself. If you turn it the other way, you end up almost burning yourself. So you gotta be really careful because it's super hot. I also don't like to put the sugar through the top because it is sticky up there, as well as it's very steamy, and the sugar tends to kind of catch up there, and I don't want that to happen. I want all the sugar to get in because I'm only doing a 1/4 cup of sugar. So I've done it, and it tells me to add it, and so what I'm gonna do is hit the add button, and it's gonna go ahead and blend. So in between the time that I did all of that, it probably took about maybe 10 minutes. It heated a little, it blended a little, it heated a little, it blended a little, and just like it's doing right now. And the best part about this is that it's going to boil in here, and then all I'm gonna have to do is stick them in these 2 little cups right here, and I'm done. Again, you could double this recipe if you wanted to, so you could share with people, or if you wanted to put it in a big mason jar. I'll be back in just a second. It is my sincere hope that someday somebody invents smell-o-vision, because through the glass, I can smell nothing but sweet jam that is going to be amazing. So a couple of things. You could make lemon curd in here, apple butter, you could make all kinds of jam, peach jam, whatever you like. Lemon curd's amazing and super easy. As you can hear, the beep is gone. So I'm gonna unhook that so it stops beeping for me. But this is probably one of the easiest things I've done in an hour, and I basically didn't really attend to it. I just kind of walked back and forth and then turned on and off the camera. I have homemade jam. So again, when you open it, it's going to be hot. So you want to take the lid and do it away from yourself so that you don't burn yourself. Always. Same thing with the quick cooker. Everything that you use, just make sure that you put the lid away from yourself, because a steam burn is definitely worse than a regular burn. So, okay. That being said, I'm going to pour this into here. And a little bit really does go a long way, so fantastic. Let me make sure I get every little last drop out of there. And then all I'm going to do is, you can see that it's done right there. So when I do grinding of my coffee beans, when I've got like a little bit of coffee residual left over, what I will do is I will take milk, and I will take a little bit of ice cream, and I actually make a little bit of a smoothie with the coffee grounds in it. It's actually quite good. So I'm wiping the outside just because obviously the heated wash isn't going to take care of that. And let's see, I've got something coming up here, a notification I'm going to take off. So all I'm going to do is put in 3 cups of water, and I'm going to turn it to the heated wash setting. Because it's so hot already, it will heat up and do just fine. I'm going to put about 3 or 4 drops of dishwashing soap in here, and I'm just going to let it clean itself. It will be completely clean. I can rinse it out, pour the hot water back into the lid just so it has a chance to get the soap and all that kind of stuff in there, and it's going to be great. So homemade jam in 50 minutes with your blender, which is just probably one of the best settings ever. And I would tell you between that and the alternative milk, I'm not sure which one I like more. But I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you guys are having a great year so far. And if you have questions about the blender, put them in the comments below. If you decide that you'd like one for yourself, but you don't want to pay full price, put that in the comments below too, because I can help you with that. All right, guys, Happy New Year. Take care.